Welcome back to Behind the Box. Today we're going to be taking a look at Goblin Grapple. So we were sent this by Board Game Exposure. We've not paid for the game, but that won't impact the quality of the review. And this is a prototype copy, so what we show you is subject to change.
Right, so Goblin Grapple is a light strategic card game where you're collecting goblins into your army and playing goblins from your hand to fight your opponent's army. The winner of the fight adds the cards from the battle to their garrison. The value of each goblin in your army and the garrison count as points. The first person to 100 points wins.
So Lindsay mentioned the values there on the different cards. So you've got values 0, 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8. Now, the 0, 1, and the 2 have some interesting abilities. So you've got the Spy. He's able to look at your opponent's hand and steal one of their cards. You've got the Assassin. He's the only creature that can kill the King. The King's the value 8. And the 2 is the Defender. So this is a card that you can use to swap out when one of your better cards would otherwise die, and then you don't give up as many points that way.
I do like the Defender. I did use him from time to time. Helped out a lot. Now, while that helped, it wasn't always satisfying to use everybody's powers. So, for example, the Spy, I used him a couple of times. This happened where I had a handful of 3s, and I used the Spy to look at Chris's hand, hoping that he'd have something interesting in there. And it's just another hand full of 3s.
Yeah, the reason that happened so frequently is because almost half of the deck are cards with value of 3. And they have no special abilities, it's just that's their power level. The issue with that is you'll often then have a hand of 3s, so you don't get a lot of opportunities to try and outplay somebody or play a Spy and take stuff because you'll just be swapping 3s around. The best case you've got really is trying to put them in your army and then hoping that not too many of them die.
Yeah.
And that way you can just score them at the end of the round for points. Or you can try and attack with them, but the only things you beat are the Spy, the Defender, and the Assassin. And other than the Assassin, neither of the other two are going to be placed in the other person's army. So you might kill an Assassin every now and then, but that's just 1 point. Best case is that you attack and kill another value 3 thing, but you don't get to kill it. You then tie.
Yeah.
And so when you have a tie, the defender then gets to play another goblin from their hand face down, and the attacker can then choose whether or not to continue the attack by playing another card from their hand. But if you've got a handful of 3s, again, you're looking at sort of a best case scenario of another tie, and then it just continues like that. So we found quite often that when we tied on 3s and the other person played a card face down, the attacker would just back off because you're either going to continue tying or you're going to lose to a 5 or an 8, and then you're just giving more points to them. And it's just really not very satisfying to play. This game in general, we didn't find that satisfying because of that reason. There's just not a lot of decision making or outplaying the opponent. There were a couple of situations where you could try and put an assassin face down to kill the opponent's king if you felt they had one in their hand that they were going to attack your army with. But that's very unlikely. It was very infrequent. And if it doesn't work out, you're only losing 1 point, so there's no reason kind of not to do that. There was one instance of me kind of thinking, okay, I think she's put an assassin down, I'll attack it with a 3. But even then, it didn't have that satisfaction level, because if I'm wrong and it's another 3, then I've not really been penalised, and then I can try and then play my king to kill whatever it is you play next. Or if I'm correct, then I just get 1 point and then play my king and attack the next thing. There just wasn't a lot going on as far as that satisfaction that you get from outplaying somebody that you get in another game like Coup or Not Alone or Entropy that we've played before.
It's not the same high stakes feeling, is it?
That's what it. Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah. Now I don't know if it's because obviously your goal is to be the first person to get to 100, so I don't know if it's something to do with that, or if maybe there's too many 3s, or it could help to have some extra numbers in there.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe give us a 4 or a 6 or a 7, or perhaps some more rolls. New abilities to make things interesting. I'm not sure. I mean, obviously they've play tested it and they feel that it's balanced, but it just didn't work out for us.
It didn't click. And now we will say the artwork looks great. you know, that clearly a lot of care and effort has gone into that, and it looks really nice and it's compact,
Yep.
which we like in
Travel
games.
friendly.
But yeah, other than that, there wasn't a lot there for us to enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with that being said, Nick from Board Deck and Dice, he seemed to enjoy the game a lot more. His experience with it must have been different. He found something to really latch onto. So I'm going to link to his video in the description. So if you are still interested in this game, or if you just want to hear an opposing viewpoint, check out his video.
Mm-hmm.
I'll link to the Kickstarter as well, so you can check that out and see what else they're offering with this Kickstarter. And I'll leave our social media as usual. But yeah, until the next one, we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, you're showing it, aren't you?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Sorry.
Doing my job. I don't have a lot going on right now, Linz. I think this we show you is subject to change in the full release.
Right. So Goblin Grapple,
Grabbers. I did so well as well.
Goblin Grapple